Hey guys, Cam for 15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with some more Chicago Bears football, Chicago Bears game recap, as the Chicago Bears ended up blowing out the Jacksonville Jaguars today in London, England. And the Bears get a W going into the bye week at 4-2. Um, Listen, all around good game. All around good game. If you're wondering why is my uncle not on the game recap this week, if you're new to the channel, usually I have my uncle on the game recaps, but if you guys forgot, my uncle actually attended the game live in London. So luckily he spent his money well worth going to the Bears game. So that's good. That's good. Listen, you can't ask for anything more. The Bears find a way to win. They basically beat an opponent that they're better at this point in time. The Jacksonville Jaguars is a god-awful franchise. It's a god-awful franchise, legitimately. They're bad. They are bad. They made all these acquisitions and everything, and they're bad. Their defense by far is one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Their offense is average at best. And that's with an average quarterback playing the position who got paid like he's elite. Jeez Louise, man. Um, you just go back and look at that freaking draft. That draft, the 2021 NFL draft star picks. I'm sorry, man. That draft class is a god awful. The draft class, and look, I understand last year I was more of like we should keep Justin and everything. One, I'm completely was dead wrong about that. If the way Caleb Williams is playing today, and he's been playing as of late, shows me anything, he's shutting my ass up. And then again, I look at Justin Fields in Pittsburgh, and he's fairly, if not the same exact quarterback he was over here. Um, and he didn't really have an impressive game against the Cowboys last week in prime time. But regardless, that entire draft class, man, you look back at that draft class, you could arguably say at the time that was going to be the best draft class of recent memory. Outside of Trevor Lawrence, all the other draft picks in that draft class are another team, are on a new team. Justin Fields with Pittsburgh, Zach Wilson with the Broncos, Mac Jones, surprisingly enough, is the backup to Trevor Lawrence, who we actually did get some reps in today. And then Trey Lance ended up becoming oh, well, look at that. The Baltimore Ravens are just going crazy. Not shocking, huh? Because the Commanders haven't played an actual elite team. Anyways, and, and then Trey Lance, who was gonna be like labeled as this big thing, this big player, he got traded from the 49ers and then got on the Cowboys. And if you watch any of his preseason games, he definitely don't look good. He don't look good. I personally think that injury he got in his second year after he played the Bears in the monsoon that one year, it just completely messed him up. It just completely messed him up. He looked like he was going to be really good, and then he got hurt. But luckily for the 49ers, they ended up getting Brock Purdy and finding Brock Purdy, but whatever. You look at that draft class as a whole is a complete bust. It's probably going to go down as, if not one of the worst NFL draft classes in in the 2000 decade. It's definitely be probably one in the 2020 decade, because that team was oh man, that class, when you look back at it now, 4 or 5 years now after you go back in 2021, it ain't looking that good. So, yeah, but regardless, the Bears get the W. Um, Listen, man, it did not look pretty. That very first Bears offensive drive, I don't exactly know what the hell was going on there. It was just three and out. And I'm like, oh, brother, here we go again. And then that second drive, oh, man. Or actually, let me do that. The freaking Jaguars go all the way down the field. Um, and luckily, they only get 3 points out of the drive because really, if you ask me, the Jaguars shot themselves in the foot That could be because of their inconsistencies throughout the season so far up to this point in week 6. But I know on that first drive, Gabe Davis dropped a touchdown. Luckily enough, that was good. And they had some more miscues. So you had it to where the defense got like basically ramrodded all the way down the freaking field. I'm gonna turn off my notifications because freaking fantasy football is going crazy for me. Um, they get ramrodded through the field, and I'm like over here, I'm like, oh shoot. We get here all early to London. They get here late, and these guys look more prepared to play in London than we do. It's gonna be a long morning. Thank goodness that the Bears didn't make it a long morning because after that point from the third drive on, the Bears just turned it on and the defense started forcing some turnovers, getting stops against the Jaguars offense. The offense was just picking apart the Jacksonville Jaguars defense, just going through them. The running game again continues to be good. It seems like they figured that out for the most part now. The pass game has been solid too. And that's the thing, and basically, the Bears cruise to a victory. Nothing more I can say about that. Um, I know some highlights I guess I want to take away. Let's get the defense out the way. I want to highlight the defense a bit. The defense wasn't necessarily, for exception of a few drives, wasn't as good because clearly they were missing players. They missed Jaquan Brisker, who was hurt, and Tyreek Stevenson got hurt, and they had Jalen Jones fill in for him, and then Elijah Hicks fill in for him. Now, personally, I thought Jonathan Owens would be the starting safety replacing Jaquan Brisker, but they elected to go Elijah Hicks. Um, they got targeted a lot on, but they held up their job and they did what they needed to do. And now against a better team, they'd probably be getting picked apart. So, yeah, but anyways, listen, they did their jobs. The defense was good. I thought, they really didn't start to get pressure on Trevor Lawrence till the later half of the drives, but they really didn't get a lot of pressure, which is still a concern of me, especially when you're going to go up against these elite good teams, especially when you're getting done facing this easy gauntlet. Um, we just got to get pressure. We got to get pressure. And the fact that the Bears, in some aspects, without bringing a blitz, or even without bringing a blitz, they still struggle to get a four-man rush hitting home. But yeah, they did force 2 turnovers. Um, you had a fumble and then an interception. Josh Blackwell ended up actually getting an interception because he had to fill in because Kyler Gordon ended up getting hurt, and they said it's a hamstring injury. So hopefully that doesn't linger on before we play the Commanders. But hamstrings are no jokes, because you want to take your time with a hamstring injury. So I don't think even after the bye week, Kyler Gordon will more than likely play in the Commanders game. So it seems like Blackwell I think has been a solid player anyways. We just know that Kyler Gordon's just been really damn good. Um, so that's the thing. But we forced 2 turnovers. We forced a fumble, which was very critical. And TJ was forcing the fumble on Evan Ingram coming out of halftime in the third quarter when the Jaguars were actually moving the ball down the field. TJ Ward puts a punch on that ball, peanut punch. We get the ball, and of course, the one thing I loved, and I'll speak about this on the offense, we turn those turnovers into touchdowns. They weren't field goals or they weren't 3 and outs. They were touchdowns. So the defense playing very good complementary football. And they did their jobs today. They absolutely did their jobs. So nothing else to say about the defense. Special teams wise, they did their thing. The only thing that was happening is the backup long snapper got hurt. So I think Patrick Scales will be available to come off of IR next week. If he is even still on IR, but if anything, we just have to we're more than likely gonna have to sign probably a practice squad long snapper or a long snapper that's out there on the free market for a few weeks because we need one. Cole Kmet filled in, and he did a solid job as the long snapper. It wasn't until like the very last time we tried to go for a field goal, You kind of had some long snapping issues because the snap was a little high, which affected the kick being blocked. So I was just wearing fearing that for the most. I'm like, please, Cole, just get your snaps right and we'll be good. And luckily, when the game was actually serious and it was on the line, Cole Kmet's long snapping issues are there was no long snapping issues with Cole Kmet. So that's a good thing because I was always fearful. I'm afraid if the Jaguars find a way to get back in this game, it will be because, and end up taking the lead, it will be because we missed a field goal because of a long snapping issue. Luckily, that only affected the very last time when the game was legitimately out of reach. So, that's a good thing. The offense had another big game today. That's 3 weeks in a row where the offense has gotten on focus and they've had a good game. And I feel like this week, it was the most complete they've had. Outside of the first two drives, they did their damn thing. I felt like they were always in the red zone almost every time out of the drive. They were killing clock and they were doing their damn thing. Caleb Williams has another great week, putting another great week together. Listen, man. I said back about a year ago in the offseason when the Bears decided to move off on Justin Fields, I legitimately said, hey, Caleb Williams better live up to the freaking hype that Poles is drafting him in. And I look, man, I can't lie. He's living up to the hype, and man, I'm not gonna guarantee shit because I'm a Bears fan and I've seen shit happen. And I've seen shit turn around instantly and go south. But holy shit, man. Like, legitimately, we might actually have a legit staple franchise, legit quarterback, and we're getting legit quarterback play, and it's just beautiful to watch. It's absolutely beautiful to watch to see we actually may have, and the only reason why I say may is because I'm not going to guarantee anything. Just from the standpoint, we may actually have a legit quarterback at the position for the Bears that could be a long-term viable option for a good not only 4+ years, maybe even 10+ years. As long as we get this shit right, it doesn't matter about the outside stuff. The Bear, it's gonna be a fun, enjoyable time, and the fact that we'll have a franchise quarterback is gonna be legitimately good. And that means we won't have to worry about that position for a few years. And guess what? If that ends up happening, that also can prepare us to start drafting the next guy. So when Caleb Williams' time is coming up with the Bears, we can draft the next guy, and a la Green Bay Packers, we can just have a guy we draft, sit him down for years, and the next thing you know, by the time Caleb Williams' time is done in Chicago, he can come. The quarterback we would more than likely be grooming is ready to come in, and they get off to the next hot start where Caleb Williams left off. That's what I need. That's what we need. We need Caleb Williams to be a hit, a success for a long time. So then at some point down the road, we end up drafting a quarterback that can sit behind him and just soak up so much information and just watching get better. And then by the time we're like, all right, thank you, Caleb, for your services. You've done everything we need you to do. You lived up to our draft pick, right? Now we can move on to the next guy. And that starts the whole process of getting the next guy right. That's what we need. That's why we need the franchise quarterback, Caleb Williams, to hit. So then guess what? When it's time to draft a successor to him, they'll already be ready and prepared and waiting in the wings. And this was great today, man. Some of the tight windows throws he was throwing today, man, was just absolutely amazing today, man. Absolutely amazing. And it's absolutely crazy that this guy is. I literally made a tweet saying, if there's one thing that I like about Caleb that I did more than Justin is those tight window throws. He just not only throws them with conviction, he throws them that fast, man. he just gets the ball out on that fast. Like there was times like he throws in between two defenders. Like there was time he threw to Keenan Allen in the middle of the field. Through two defenders, the ball gets there. And Keenan Allen just literally just sits back and rolls back. And I'm like, yes, this is what we need to see. Because this is what I was waiting for. And we got it. And man, was it damn good to watch. And that's the one thing that he's better at than Justin in the quick game. Justin would just hold on to the ball a little bit too long, or he would hesitate to throw and then let it go. He was waiting for it to get actually open. But Caleb, he rifles it in to a point where he knows my receiver is going to come down with the ball. I'm going to give him the ball to throw it to them. And that's the thing. You know, he made some good throws. He made some really good throws. You know, the tight window throw, the one slant to really kind of kill more clock and ice the drive to Keenan Allen on that quick slant. Great play thrown to him. Um, what is it? You know, just the touchdown pass. Not only the first one to Keenan Allen was reminiscent of the one he did last week to DJ Moore, but even the fourth down and three play on the goal line where he just lofted it up, and Keenan Allen came down with it. Amazing, man, amazing. His only mistake today was he lofted a pass instead of just put the ball on a dime to either the sideline for DJ Moore to go catch it, or at least even put it even a little bit more air on it, so then it goes over the defender. But he just lofted up there, and that was just a bad thrown pass. I don't know why, and it was obviously short too, and the defender just came in and just picked it off right then and there. Um, so yeah, but other than that, solid play, solid play. Yeah, two passing TDs to Komet. Um, You'll take it. You will take it. The run game again continues to be good. DeAndre Swift. It's funny because I made a tweet. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think DeAndre Swift is still at RB1 for me. He does too much dancing around just to try to avoid contact. But he made me eat those words. The next few plays he ended up getting because he ended up carving up the Jaguars defense. And the fact if he can get the run game, if he continues to be a consistent running back, then we're good. Um, Roshan Johnson got some carries. Khalil Herbert. At this point, there's no need to talk about it anymore. I'm convinced they're going to trade him. I'm convinced they're going to trade him at some point at the deadline because he's a virtually like not even factored into the offense anymore at this point. Not even factored into the offense. So that just tells me they're more than likely going to trade him at the deadline and get some compensation in return for him. The same could probably be said about Bayless. We'll get into that in a second. Um, Cole Kmet having a breakout game today, scoring two TDs. That was good to see him. Keenan Allen had his breakout game. This time he actually held on to the damn football and caught the touchdown passes. And, everything was else. Offensive line was fine. There was only one play that I was irked off at the offensive line, which was Braxton Jones getting pushed back again. I still think we need to upgrade the left tackle position, but I digress. So yeah. Shane Waldron, his play calling was fine. I still don't like it. I still like one of the second drives, we get a play action rollout. That's the positive gain. And then this man goes a fucking wide receiver screen to DJ Moore again. And of course, it gets blown the F up. Stop with the screens. And funny enough, one of the best plays, if not the best play call of the season from Shane Waldron, was the fucking double fake screen to freaking Cole Kmet for the walk-in touchdown, essentially. Cole Kmet had to make it a little bit more interesting than it should have been, but the fact that I'm like, yes, more of those more of doing fake wide receiver screens to a threat running vertical in the middle of the field because it attracts the defense because the defense is always keying in on the fact that you're running screens and they know, oh, you're running a screenplay. More of that. So then guess what? Teams are like, okay, let's stop falling for the fakes of the screen. Boom. That will open up your screen game. So more of the screen fakes, please and thank you. That stuff is going to work. But regardless, Shane Waldron's play calling, in my opinion, still leaves a lot to be desired. I don't trust him. I don't trust him at all under any circumstances. Till this day, I don't trust him. And we're going to definitely see how he does coming out of the bye week. See, my problem is with the Bears is Don't change anything that, guess what, you ain't doing before. Make some small adjustments. Still go in there knowing that you need to freaking make and get better. Don't be lackadaisical or complacent with what you've been getting out the last 3 weeks of the season. Of the season. Don't get complacent. And that's my fear that they're going to get complacent and they think, okay, yes, this is what working. And then they're going to start doing their play calling BS crap, whether it's on the defensive side of the ball or especially the offensive side of the ball, because they're getting a little bit too dang cocky. Like on the one drive, um, whatever. It was like I think it was the like final drive, the offensive drive the Bears got. We're still passing the ball when we should just be running the clock out. I'm like, just run the dang clock out. Run the clock. These guys need to basically just you're trying to get these guys back in the game, and of course, like things go wrong. DeAndre Swift almost fumbles the ball, and I'm like, okay, you guys are trying to make this game a little bit too damn interesting, okay? But still, some of the play calling leaves a lot to be desired. That's got to get better. Last thing, I just wanted to make a quick mention. Velus Jones Jr. is inactive. Trade him, please, or just cut him. That's like 6 straight weeks he's inactive. That's telling me something. That clearly they're done with the Velus Jones experience. It tells me 9 out of 10 times they're more than likely done with the Velus Jones experiment. Good. That's good. Because I'm done with it too. I've been done with it since year 1. No more. No Moss. Cut him or trade him at the deadline too. I would not be shocked if they trade Velus Jones Jr. because they realize, okay, yeah, he ain't it. One fumble off a kickoff makes these guys finally realize, all right, we're done with him. But they try to convert him to a running back, huh? When you're getting good, solid running back play to Roschon Johnson and DeAndre Swift, Velus Jones Jr. isn't really necessarily needed. And personally, if you ask me, if the one kid, I forgot what his name was, the guy that got hurt, that's basically staying on for the season, who's coming out of the Ivy League school or whatever, who I forgot his name. I personally think he was gonna make the roster over Velus Jones Jr. But he got hurt, and the Bears like, well, I guess we got to keep him. So that's the thing. And then, shockingly enough, when I was looking at the inactives list before I watched the game today, Nate Davis was inactive. Healthy scratch. It sounds like to me, or it looks like to me, Matt Eberflus and his staff are finally done with the Nate Davis experiment itself too. And they're basically like, all right, we're done with your half-assing BS. You're done. Take a seat on the bench. And if that's the thing, and it's now Tevin Jenkins did play this game, so we didn't see Bill Murray play. It looks like to me they saw one game of Bill Murray, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna pay the guy for cheap and hopefully get a long-term upgrade in the near future. And we're gonna just let the guy we're paying right now $20 million essentially, or what's remaining on his contract. We're just gonna put him on the inactive list and not play him again. That just goes to show that decision to put Nate Davis on the inactive list as a healthy scratch shows me that finally they're going to apply the hits principle to this dude. And it also goes to confirm that this has been a complete failure of a signing by Ryan Poles. And we know Ryan Poles has some say in terms of who's inactive too. So maybe this is also a confirmation that Poles is actually now finally fed up with him. Now, do they look to maybe try to trade him? I don't know what team would be willing to take on Nate Davis with his reputation. Probably not. But if they were to trade him and you get some compensation, I'll take it. Get a cancer off the team. Plain and simple. Get a cancer off the team. And I'm glad that now they're realizing we can't play Nate Davis anymore. It's time to stop with the shit. You're going to be a healthy scratch. You ain't ready to play football? Well, then we'll just sit your ass down and you can go play tiddlywinks or something like that and just sit on the sideline doing nothing. Because that's what you did all of last year. And it sounds like to me that the Bears are just sick and tired of his BS. And they're just like, well, if you ain't ready here to play and you ain't willing to practice and go out and work out in practice, well, then we'll just sit you down. Good. They should have came to that freaking conclusion a whole last year ago. They should have cut him. Now make an example of him and cut him. We don't need him. Eat the dead money. But no, we don't want to eat the dead money. We'll keep him on the roster, and they'll probably let him go as a post first. Whatever. I'm done. Anyways, the Bears get the W. I'm gonna go watch the rest of football Sunday, and then also have to go to work later today. But the Bears get the W. We win. I'm happy. No, nothing bad to say. We got the bye week going in. That's a good thing. 4-2, and then hopefully the Bears coming out of the bye week. Jeez Louise, I hope they don't come unprepared to play against the Dane Commanders, because that game I actually want to win. So then these Jaden Daniels for MVP people, shut the hell up. Because I'm sick and tired of hearing this dude being like, they're proclaiming this guy's the next CJ Stroud and things like that. And there's one game I want the Bears to win, and I want one game the Bears to embarrass Jaden Daniels and say, okay, this guy was just playing no competition. Now I got to go watch this Baltimore Ravens game, see how he looks. But listen, that game I need a win, because if the Commanders win, you already know Commander fans in the national media, they're going to be like, see, Jaden Daniels should have been the draft pick instead of Caleb Williams for the Bears. That's the one game I need the Bears to desperately win, because I need the national media and these Commander fans to shut the frick up. Talking about, oh, blah, 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 blah. Jaden Daniels hasn't really played nobody, and he's running a goddamn college offense. Caleb Williams, I'm seeing this guy make checks at the line and doing all these things. I don't see Jaden Daniels doing that. I swear, the Bears better beat the Commanders, so the national media and the frickin' Commander fans can shut up about Jaden Daniels being MVP. He just got better coaching than what Caleb Williams has gotten. I'll give him that. Anyways, I'm done. I'm getting out of here. Till then, guys, stay safe out there. Hit that subscribe button if you want more Bears content or any other NFL content or sports content you want on the channel. Till then, guys, stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day. Peace.